voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're now listening to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio.
Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Welcome to INC Radio United Kingdom. And we're broadcasting live from the United Kingdom and Ireland. Okay, so for the ones that may not know me, I am Erica Celestino, and I'll be hosting today with...
I'm Sandy Medina from Ireland, trying to match your energy, Erica, by the way. And I can't, I feel like my caffeine is slowly kind of like easing out of my body.
Definitely match it. And also, it's so lovely to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Like, I see you on INC Radio. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we haven't hosted together in a while. So I missed you. How are you?
I know it's been a good bit, but it's always nice to be paired together, you know, and it's always nice to be able to join INCRadio and become both the host for like one show, right? It's always like there's something like a segment that we're doing, and maybe you're the host, and maybe it's the other way around, you know. But it's always nice to be like this with you, by the way.
Yes. So for the ones that are watching right now, today I'm going to say that the topic discussion is very exciting. But just as a reminder for those tuned in on INC Radio through YouTube, please don't forget to share with us your comments and your greetings, because you know what month are we right now? June. We're 6 months in 2025, and it's almost summer, right? Suddenly, and that means school break. Well, it's school break for the students. I'm not a student anymore, but that means vacation for most of us because it's summer, and I can't wait for my friends to tell me about their travels. I know it's timely for you and I, because for the ones that don't know me, I love traveling, and I know Stanley does too. And so don't worry, it's not just going to be us sharing our travels and tips, but we also have our panelists today, and they are actually across the pond. They're from America.
Yes, I think that's the way to put it. Like they're across the pond, but they're here with us, joining us in spirit, and like join together for this exciting topic discussion. By the way, I can't wait. I can't wait to dive into it.
So we're gonna dive into travel tips, right? But you know, when it comes to traveling, for me, one of the things that I really do look forward is, I guess when people ask me, suddenly is meeting people, first of all, and seeing the different places. Because you know how, I know you're a foodie, so I'm going to let you share that with everyone. But what I look forward to especially is taking pictures and seeing the beautiful houses of worship around the world. And of course, attending worship services there as well. But before we continue with our topic discussion, let's introduce our panelists today. We have Jasmine and Carolyn from California. Hello.
Everyone, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. My name is Jasmine Manangkil. I'm from the local congregation of Temecula Valley in the district of San Diego County, California. And I'm so excited to be part of the topic discussion today with all of you there in the United Kingdom.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for joining us today. So that's from SoCal. And let's move up to NorCal with Carolyn. Or Should I call you Care?
Care, yes, well, good. I'm trying to keep the energy with the youngins here. Yes, I am Carolyn, aka Care, here in California, the U.S. abroad. So, uh, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to hear about these travel tips and what's going on and what we can do. So, yes, let's move on.
Yeah, I think like we just want to get this started, right? So I think we'll move on to our topic discussion. And I know our listeners and our viewers and those who are commenting on the YouTube chat, they are so eager as well, and they can't wait to get this topic discussion started. But there's so many already commenting. So once again, we encourage everybody to join in and comment along and answer along with us. By the way, and don't be afraid to shout out anyone in your local congregation, your friends, your family, all over the world. And we'll take the opportunity to read them out later and all throughout our program this afternoon. So let's go, Erica. Let's get started with our topic discussion.
Yeah. So, of course, we're talking about travels, right? And tips. Well, I think we can break the ice by asking, what is your favorite place to visit abroad? I guess because most of us have gone to a lot of places. Maybe you can share the top 3 destinations. Let's start with Carolyn.
Okay, so top destinations. I don't go abroad too much, or I don't do too much international yet, right? Yet that is that is the key word. But really, going back home in Hawaii, even though it's still in the United States, it's always home for me because it's where I grew up and that's where family is at. And again, beautiful houses of worships there. So you got to go visit Hawaii.
I love that. I've been to Hawaii for the first time back in 2018. Just sharing already. And so shout out to Auntie Des.
Yes. Aloha.
All right. Aloha. And how about you, Jasmine?
Places to visit or travel to. I'm from a military family, so we've done a lot of traveling and relocating around the world. And our last duty station was actually in the country of Spain. So we really love the country of Spain. Also Italy. And then I have family there in the United Kingdom. So those are our family's top 3 destinations when it comes to travel. I wish we could do it more often, but for the few moments that we do have the opportunity to travel, those are our top places. And by the way, Carolyn, we also lived in Hawaii. For my husband was stationed there, so aloha to everyone there.
Oh, nice.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that because we also love Hawaii very much.
I love that. I'm gonna share mine too. Okay, so because Carolyn mentioned home, so that's hard. I have 3 homes for the meantime that I consider like proper because of family and loved ones or friends that became family. So first is Italy because I come from Italy. I was born and raised there. Second is Philippines because Philippines is just, Philippines. My parents come from there and most of our relatives are from there. And, it's just home for me. And the other home that I have is United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. And specifically, Carolyn knows it's California. Because
I've never been myself, so it's my go-to. So
you
like
should.
California and Hawaii. Yeah, I'm an East Coast girly, so
I mean, East Coast is beautiful, but as well as like the weather in California is really nice. Depends where you go, but everything there is just nice, especially when you have family as well. I think that's one of the main reasons why these are my top 3 destinations. But how about you, Stanley?
it's hard. It's hard to narrow it down to 3. It's a bit tricky, but I'll try. So, well, first one is America. I love America. So like as I mentioned already, I'm an East Coast girly. So I live in Boston. I've done my internship there, so I'm really loyal to that region of America. And my family regularly travels to Florida, so that's why I'm like really loyal to that side of America. And also because you've mentioned and everybody has mentioned that they live at one point of their lives in Hawaii, and there's so many of our brethren who once live or visited Hawaii. It's I feel like it's my next destination. It's on my like mental note right now. Hawaii is my next destination. But I have this, I don't know if it's just a thing for some travelers. I have a goal to try and travel to uh, all of the 50 states. So I'm on already on my 8th. So it's
I
still
get
a long way to
excited.
go.
I'm reacting here because that's one of the goals I have too.
It's one
That's
of my
funny.
goals.
We're gonna have to make you a West Coast girly in addition to being an East Coast girly, right,
Yes,
Carolyn?
Yes,
please do.
yes.
Please do.
And
And a
it's
Hawaiian
not
girly,
humid.
maybe.
It's not humid on the west side, so you won't be so moist and too hot, I guess, right? Right, Jasmine?
Correct.
But
That's
yes,
correct.
I can't wait. I can't wait to like travel to the west. And there's so many places to explore in America, and they're so different. They're so different to each other, like each state. So that's my goal. And then other destination, I feel like I have to share this because it's a bit controversial. Egypt is my one of my top destination. It kind of like blew me away with my like how I've seen everything and experience everything in person. So Egypt is my other top destination, and maybe Russia as well. I really love how what I've seen on movies and stuff like that. It didn't really match what I've experienced and what I've seen in person. So I guess those three, like each area or yeah, each area kind of like didn't match my expectations, but in a good way, you know. And I guess that's the point of traveling, to kind of like, you know, challenge what you have in your mind and then what you could actually see in person. I don't know if maybe it's just like from my point of view. What about you guys? How do you feel like travel is for you? Is it kind of like an escape? Is it kind of like you know, kind of seeing everything in person and maybe just like, you know, a way for you to relax? We'll go to Jasmine first.
Travel is more of a learning experience. Also, because we're always so curious about how people live and how they carry themselves in other parts of the world. And like you said, you mentioned movies and things like that. A lot of these places we've only seen on television or on the internet, and so it's always that curiosity about how it feels to be in that area and how what the people there experience. So it's definitely about a learning experience and the whole um, discovery of things that are new, because you know there's so much to see in the world, and it's just amazing how many new things you learn every time you're in a different area. I mean, even with the United States, it's so diverse. Every state seems to have its own culture. Even NorCal versus SoCal is very different, but all of them are amazing experiences. So definitely discovery and then learning more.
I know Carolyn will have to say something about that because, like, you know, traveling within US is such like I feel like it has like you have to do it at one point in your life, because you know, as you mentioned, Jasmine, like one state is so different from another, different cultures, even like, you know, different like food culture, to be honest. And I know Carolyn, for you, you mainly travel like within the US bounds, right? how is traveling for you? Is it like a form of escape, a form of relaxation, or maybe just like, traveling to meet friends, family?
Yeah, it's Sen, it's all of the above actually. It's to get away, but then it's curiosity, like Jasmine says, and it's like the five senses. Because you go to these different regions, you go to these different places. I mean, I've gone to Canada, I've gone to Philippines, UK is one, and Europe is another one. But within the United States, yes, my goal as well is 50 states, and visit, especially trying see all these beautiful chapels in these different states, because also you're not traveling just out of curiosity, but you're traveling to see, for us, co-host, right? And in each state there's a co-host there to see, or there's a someone from INCRadio that you just want to see, you just want to meet. And exactly what Jasmine says, North and South California, totally different weather, totally different, um, I want to say smell, because I do the five senses all the time, but the ocean breeze, and then you have the mountains and the snow, so totally different. And it is curiosity, because you want to see how some of these brethren live. Some live out in the country, some live out by the ocean, and some live out by the snow. So it's kind of nice to see all these things and just say, wow, this is beautiful, right? God's creation is so beautiful that it's just like, oh my, I love this. Like, I love this. And then, of course, we bring in the food, and there's always different kinds of foods to taste, right? Different kinds of foods. There's the possibilities are so endless. So endless.
So while we're on the topic of food, we'll tie it along with our next question. So like we've mentioned all our top destinations, but what is your favorite foods in your top destination? We'll go to Erica first. So we'll go around. Erica, for you, what is your go-to food or favorite food in the destinations that you mentioned, or maybe it's another destination?
Hey, I'm gonna go with different ones, but because the first one that came into my mind is street food, so I'm gonna say fishbowl in the Philippines. Everyone knows I love street food there. But also, one of the things that my friends know and family know is that I have a sweet tooth. So I really love dessert and sweets. So what I go for is if it's Italy, suddenly I'm gonna say tiramisu or gelato. Definitely
Yes,
those.
gelato. Like I'm gonna be a bit controversial with my stand on gelato, but I don't go for natural flavors for gelato. I go for the like a little bit outrageous kind of flavors, like bubblegum flavor. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that. I remember one time, I think I showed it on INCRadio New Jersey satellite studio. So the bubblegum one is colored blue. So we call it puffo.
How do you say it again
Uh,
for our listeners and our viewers?
puffo. It's actually if it's translated, it's like one. I'm not gonna mention it, but it's one of those movies that it's like an animation movie or cartoon as well, and the characters are pretty much blue, like the ice cream.
Right, I know the characters you are aiming for. But yes, bubblegum gelato. I don't know if that's in the like it's something that people have tried or maybe have seen, but the blue one is definitely bubblegum. And is there any other like food stuffs that you kind of go for when you're traveling?
I think one of the first things I go for is check what's one of the traditional dishes in the country. And then if it's within my budget, I'm going to try it. We're going to talk about budgeting as well since we're talking about travel tips. But yes, I think one of the things that I go for is also the main dishes. For example, I'm going to share this. I didn't know, but one of the things I tried in Hungary, I don't remember the name of the dish, but it reminded me of one Filipino dish, which was caldereta. And suddenly help here. So it's meat with
I think it's a Hungarian It's almost like a stroganoff, but it's the Hungarian version. I can't remember the term, like the culinary term to be exact, but it will come to me at some point during the program.
But it's just nice to also, try the different dishes and then remind you of, oh wow, this reminds me of this dish from this country, or like the traditional dish of another one. And it's pretty amazing because as much as we have so many countries around the world and different cultures, right? We can relate in the small things, right? And one of these things is food. I mean, food is food.
Yeah, like you would be amazed how similar, like kind of the flavor profile in another country. That's why I'm like surprised you kind of paired that Hungarian dish with caldereta, did you say? Or the caldereta? It's a
Yeah.
stewy dish. For those who don't know, caldereta is like a beef or pork stewy dish from the Philippines. And I think Hungarian stroganoff is kind of along those kind of stewy kind of cooking method, but I think it's more like paprika dense kind of dish. But yes, I like how you mentioned that you get similarities culture wise through food. And I believe our other panelists will go to Carolyn. Carolyn, what about you? What food foodstuffs do you go for whenever you go to your you've been to your top destination? What was the first thing that you're like, okay, I'll get that first thing to try it out, or something that you turned out to be your favorite now because you went to that destination?
I don't know. I think for me, like Philippines and Hawaii, it's always the fruit. It's the tropical fruit. It hits different. It's not the same as when you have the fruit here, right, Jasmine? The fruit here, like the mango or the papaya, it's totally, totally different. When you eat it there, it's just sweeter and tastes better, and it's just the flavor is just bursting right with from the I don't know, the tropical sun. Maybe it's a little bit different. But with the mangoes, oh, I love, love, love the mangoes and the papayas in Hawaii. It's totally different. I know actually just could attest to that, that if you eat a mango here in California, it's totally different. It doesn't taste the same. But another thing I do love to go when I do go to Hawaii is there's this dish called lau lau. I think that's I mean, Erica, you do know what lau lau is, right? Jasmine knows what it is, right? You don't find it here. It's hard to find. It's one of those things that you go and when you hit Hawaii, that's one of the first things you go is just get one of those authentic, down to earth food that just it's comfort food. Right, Jasmine? I know you know this. It's comfort food. And it's so good. It's so good. So if you do know somebody who can actually probably freeze it and bring it to California, do it and taste it. You gotta taste it. That's for me. The fruits, tropical fruits.
Yes, I totally agree. By the way, like I feel like the warmer the climate or like in the destination you're going to, the produce is so different from like colder regions. In Ireland here, like our best produce is mainly like green things, like green vegetables. Fruit, not really. Like in my region now, like where I live outside of Dublin, the capital. So our main produce in our area here in Wicklow is strawberries. So like we're in season for strawberries, and we have it's not a fruit, but it's a herbie. It's a herbie flower. It's called elderflower. So we get cordials. So those who don't know, cordials are kind of like your juice extract that you blend with water to make a drink out of. So we are very big on elderflower and strawberries. So other than that, no, like obviously no tropical fruit. It just won't grow here. Well, vegetables, all green vegetables were all for, but other than that, no. Like there's such a big difference with quality, I'd say, and also like flavor. We'll go to Jasmine this time. Jasmine, what about you? What do you go for food wise in your top destinations that you've mentioned, or maybe another place that you haven't mentioned just yet?
With just like Erica mentioned, I also research what are the, you know, the foods of that area, and we want to make sure that we try that, dish or specialty, because we definitely want to experience what the locals eat over there. So when you visit Spain, a lot of people think of paella. And I didn't realize until I moved there that there were so many different varieties of paella. There's seafood, you can do chicken, you can do vegetable. There's also a really dark version because they use squid ink to make it. So there's so many varieties of even just one dish that you can try. So every time we would go to Valencia, where it originated from, we would try a different type of paella, thinking that, having just one paella isn't enough. You have to try all the different varieties to experience it fully. So that's definitely one thing that, we'll never forget.
For me and Erica, it would be like the buffet situation in Barcelona. I
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. And also because I love seafood. So the first thing in my head was, okay, you get fresh seafood there. That's the first thing I wanna eat when I go to Barcelona. And I can relate to Jasmine because my favorite dish there is literally paella, but I tried it because one of the brothers that we visited in Barcelona prepared it for us, and back then it was like probably 20, I'm not gonna, maybe 2014, 2012, I don't remember. I was really young, and I was like, that was the first time I tried it, and ever since it's been like my favorite. It's like my to go to dish whenever I visit Spain. And also churros, duh.
Oh yes, churros. Churros are the best.
I
They're
super
so delicious.
Yes, I totally agree. And also when it comes to food, I think I'm getting hungry now. We're like talking about food. And so, when it comes to other aspects of traveling, right? I was actually wondering when it comes to preparing for your travels, are you sort of like the type of person that goes with the flow? Okay, I'm gonna book this trip with my family, and then we're just gonna go with how we feel on the day, when it comes to visiting the different landmarks or museums? Or are you a planner, Jasmine?
I'm definitely a planner, so I have to have everything typed out. What our flight, our and the itinerary for the whether it's a few days or the week that we'll be there. What places we'll see, what food we'll try, what restaurants to stop by, based on recommendations and research. So it's structured so we can maximize our time because we may never be able to go there again. So I'm definitely a planner. And then the priority, of course, we also make sure that we find the worship services in that area so that we will be able to visit the various chapels and then meet the different brethren around the world. One fun thing for my kids is that they've made friends in different parts of the world that some of them are in touch with still to this day. So it's amazing that they get to grow up having this network and this global connection of friends around the world, and that they will always have if someday they travel, and they can connect with again. So it's such a wonderful thing when it comes to our faith.
I totally agree because one of the things I do whenever I visit is message someone I know from either like the area or the country, and be like, oh, I'm going to this city. Do you happen to know if there's brethren that are free, right? That I can meet up with. And so all of my trips, I always make friends, and we still keep in touch. And I think I got a nickname out of my travels. And I love it. It's just it's always nice to not only experience your travels with your loved ones if you're going with your family, but also like solo traveling. I know I started solo traveling when I was 19, and it's such a great experience, especially when I know that wherever I go, there's a local congregation, and that means I can attend worship service and meet the brethren.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know you know, and most of the people that know me know that I'm a solo travel girly. Like along with like traveling with my family too. But I'd say about 60% of my travel is a solo travel. And what I find is whenever I travel and I have obviously I have to look up the worship services like location and schedules in the country I'm going to, or the region I'm going to. But it's always so nice to feel is that wherever you go, the people that you meet, the brethren you meet, it feels like family straight away. It's instant connection, and like I said this time and time again. Whenever whoever I meet, I'm like the connection is just too quick that you feel like they're your uncle, your auntie, your lola and your lola, like your grandparents, or even your like long lost sisters and cousins and stuff. It's always so nice to see, and like what I really do enjoy is like because they know that I'm traveling by myself, like they wanted to make sure that I'll get to my accommodation safely. So a lot of the brethren that I meet, they would always take the time, which is so nice of them, to bring me to my hotel or my accommodation, or even just bring me to the closest like train station or bus station. And I'm so appreciative of gestures that are like that, because you feel so kind of like comforted, even though you're by yourself. And like it's a choice that you travel by yourself. It's always nice to see having the feeling of family around you. I don't know if everybody share the same sentiment, but yeah, family everywhere.
I know, I totally agree. How about you, Carolyn? Do you have anything to add? I mean,
I was like, wait, we're jumping, but I do. I'm not the planner. I do go with the flow. It's just that when the kids were young, I know if you know, I have 4 boys, so we do plan everything. We did plan everything when they were young, and we made sure we were able to do everything that we can at the little moments that we do have. But now that they're a little bit older, it's go with the flow, whatever we can do. But it's less sleep when we're on vacation because we just want to do as much things as possible on that vacation time. Uh, I know we kind of jump back, but I know that with that we do try and we do look at the map and we pin, where are the houses of worship, and if there's about 4 or 5 in that area, we want to make sure we have time to go. We call it we call it church hopping, because we want to go there and go to the next one, take a picture, get that structure, look at you got to admire the beautiful structures and the colors and everything. And then we go, okay, next, let's go to the next one really quick. Let's take pictures. And we try and add as much of the structures of the house of worships. And then we have this album where we try to get as much as we can. And so that is probably the top of our list when we go on vacation, is where we're going, and do we have time, and can we make time to take as much pictures of all these different houses of worship. That's for us. That's like the main thing on going on vacations, is looking at those, which is nice. And then everything else is put into play. And I do want to do the solo travel soon. I know I've talked about it a lot, and you know, the hubby is good for it. He says go for it. I'm all for it. I'm supporting you, and so I'm like, oh, I want to try. I want to try this solo because it is fun, and you get to reflect back on your own, and you just get to think. You get to just think what's going on and what do you want to do and all this stuff. And so I'm super excited. I know definitely I will get some advice from Sen and from Erica, and just say, hey, how do you guys do this? And what do you guys do? Do you talk to yourself, or do you just like listen to music? Or I'll ask you guys on the after the show. I'll ask you guys after that.
Also, Fun fact, I met Carolyn in the Philippines.
Yeah.
One of our travels. Yeah. It was really nice, and I hope I get to meet Jasmine, because I've already been to Temecula, but I didn't get the chance to see you. So, maybe next time. Um, but when it comes to being like a planner, or going with the flow, I can say, I think Stanley said she's a planner. She mentioned it.
I'm a bit of both, depending. Like for when I solo travel, I plan it to the T, because obviously, like you have to be secure once you're up and going, because you're by yourself.
Yourself.
Yes. And like, but when I'm in a group, most especially when I'm with my family, I kind of like let go. Kinda like,
Okay, that's the other way around for me. I'm a planner. I definitely love planning things, especially because I want to see like certain things, like landmarks or museums. But that's only with my family. Like, I plan everything when I'm with my family or my sisters, especially. But shout out to Christine, because she's the first one who's ever made me feel like a, how do you call it, a princess traveler, because she prepared everything. And
passenger princess.
yeah, something like that. And then I was just going with the flow, and it was like one of the rare times where I could just like chill and just follow her and be like, okay, I'm down for this, I'm down for that. So yes, it's very lovely. But as a tip that you mentioned, when it comes to security, whilst traveling, right? So especially when you're like a solo traveler, I guess, even though, for example, I'm traveling on my own, I just message my mom and be like, "Oh, mom, I'm already here," or I got home, or I'm already with this brother or sister, and we're going to this place. Yeah, because as much as I can say I'm an adult, I still have my mommy. My mom, she's actually tuned in.
Yes, that's true. Like whenever you're solo traveling, or even with the group that maybe you're not fully acquainted with, it's always the best to always communicate with your family, just to
Yeah.
let them know what's going on, like where you are, what you're about to do, just so they know exactly where to contact you, or even get a hold of you if something happens, like, we have to be, prepared for whatever circumstance. Yeah.
And I think Jasmine was about to say something.
No, it's a good point that you make about security. And even though we're fully grown adults here, we share our itinerary with our family, whether it's our siblings or our parents, just so should anything happen or there's any emergencies, they know exactly what flight we were on, what hotels we were at, what locations we were visiting. So it's always a good idea to share your itinerary back home with at least one or two other family members, just so they know how to get a hold of you in case of emergency. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
Definitely. How about you, Carolyn? Do you have any travel tips?
Just yeah, watch your surroundings. Always keep in touch with somebody and let them know your checkpoints, so they know that you are safe. Because when they know you're safe and you know that you are safe, it's going to be more fun out there, and you know that you have no worries, that your family's not worrying. Make sure that you just always keep in touch with somebody. It doesn't have to be just specific people. Just keep in touch with somebody, or have a group chat, so they all know where you are at, and they know that, okay, Erica is here now. Okay, 30 minutes later she's here, just so that they know that you are still moving around, because anything can happen at any moment of the time. So just be safe out there, and always hydrate. Always hydrate.
There you go. Talking about hydration, Carolyn, also medicine and health. So I remember going to Iceland with Christine, and we brought with us a first aid kit. So like, you never know, just bring whatever it's needed. That's why it's always good to plan what you're gonna bring. I'm not saying your itinerary, but at least what you're gonna bring to your travels, especially when it comes to finances. I mentioned earlier, if I like, we're responsible enough to know what how much we can spend and how much we can bring, right? So budgeting is the first thing when it comes to planning our trips. So thank you so much, Jasmine and Carolyn, for joining us today. It's been a lovely topic discussion, and as much as we'd love to keep talking about this topic discussion, it's almost time for us to say goodbye. And so we'd like to ask you if you have any shout outs, Carolyn.
Yes, I do. Shout out to INCRadio Sacramento out there. I know some of them are out there, as well as some of them are from California tuning in and supporting. And of course, I got to shout out Faith and Melody, right? Faith and Melody. It is Monday through Thursday, just plugging it in. But again, thank you once again to San, to Erica and Jasmine. It was wonderful, wonderful to be on here, and go travel. If you can travel, go do it. Go do it.
Thank you so much, Caroline, for joining us. And how about you, Jasmine? Any shout outs or greetings?
Yes, thank you. I would like to say hello to my family, the Ocampo family, Don, Dee, Daniel, Dylan, and Isabel, who are from Swansea. And then also to my relatives that are also in, I think, Cheltenham. Hopefully I pronounced it right, Cheltenham. They're the Zereno family, Val, Floyd, Chelsea, and Cedric. So thank you so much for having me. And then hello to my own family here in California, my husband Dennis and my kids Ava, Eden, and Xavier. Thanks again for having me. And it was so much fun talking to all of you, Carolyn, Erica, Sandy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jasmine. And also, Brother Harley extends his greetings to you and your family. But talking about greetings, I think someone from another country recently wants to say hi, and this time we fly to Canada. Hi, Zenaida.
Hello, Sister Erica. This is Sister Seni Novesteras po from the District of Greater Toronto. We just concluded our district activity today po, and our group overseer will tell you about this po. This is Brother Roy Ibasto po.
Hello po, Brother Roy. Thank you for joining us po.
Yeah, hello po, hi po. The time here is 12:42. We have just concluded a worship service, an inaugural worship service here in the District of Greater Toronto in Canada. And I just want to share to you about this very momentous occasion that I've just concluded. This place is, we call it Thunder Bay City in Ontario, Canada, one of the farthest city from Greater Toronto, the place of our the district office of Greater Toronto. It lies between Winnipeg and Saint Marie. This is the third farthest place of Ontario, a town or a city. And if you will drive from Toronto, it's about 16 to 18 hours drive. And there's so many brethren here came from Toronto to witness this very momentous occasion of the Church of Christ. And we have also held a care for humanity, which benefited for about so many visitors and guests invited by our brethren here. And it was so successful that I'm so thankful to our Almighty God, and through the church administration, I'm also thankful to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, for approving this very, very momentous occasion of the Church of Christ today. That,
Thank you.
that's all. Thank you po.
Lepo, thank you po, Sister Erica, for helping us. Mga
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for greetings there to our brethren in Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Right.
joining us.
That is so lovely to see that, because we have different time zones, right? And so they just had their CFO cares activity as well, suddenly. And speaking of activities, let's go and jump into our CFO in action. Of course, this is a segment where we talk about and showcase the different activities that we have in our districts. And when I say districts, it's because Radio United Kingdom satellite studio, we know that we're representing 3 districts. So Britain South, Britain North, and Ireland. And so let's start with the first activity for today, which is actually ACFO Cares. Suddenly. And as we can see in our presentation here on YouTube in a bit with the pictures of our brethren in Eastbourne. So greetings to our brethren there in Eastbourne who had their CFO Cares and the children's worship service school supplies. That was, you can see the children there having their performance and presentation. They shared school supplies to our guests and visitors. You can see them holding the packages as well. And from the picture, I see that they're performing INC original music as well. It's so lovely because, CFO Cares is also one of the activities that are catered for the brethren as well, right? And this is aimed for our children's worship service members. Of course, when you go to school, you need supplies. And we're so thankful that we got to have this activity, right, Suddenly?
Yes, for those who don't know, the CFO Cares or Christian Family Organization Cares activity is an ongoing activity happening all across the world. So please continue to tune in on INCRadio because we have so much more to bring to you because there's so many regions, not only in the United Kingdom, but also in Ireland that is also doing their own CFO Cares activity. So please tune in and we'll give you an update about those regions that have just conducted their very own CFO Cares activity.
Yes. And also, speaking of, I mentioned children's worship service earlier. Let's go and jump to Camberwell. So the local congregation of Camberwell, they had the activity of a museum trip with the children's worship service members. So I'm excited. I love museums, and I'm pretty sure from the pictures that we're seeing, they enjoyed visiting the museum as well. One of the things I love about London, for example, there's so many free admission museums. So, and I know for a fact that even in Washington, D.C., they have free museums there too. So, one of the tips is if you like museums, check out the free ones, and they're very, very interesting too.
Yes, like I really do enjoy some of the like museums that you don't even have to worry about entry fee or anything like that because like most of them are free. So for those who haven't been in the London region, about the museums, don't worry about them. There's only like a good few that have like an entry fee, I believe, and then there are some specific days that it's free also. So just plan out your itinerary, and I know that it will work out to your advantage that you could enter those museums for free. Yeah. So we'll proceed to the next activity that we have, Erica, right? So this one this time is from the District of Britain North, and we will be discussing the District Mr. and Mrs. Chef activity, and you'll be seeing in your screens in a couple of moments some of those photos that were taken during the activity. And it's always so nice to see all of our brethren joining together, particularly for this activity. It was led and it was the book club members that got involved in this activity. So for those don't know, the book club members are the married members in the Church of Christ. So as you can see, the married members of the book club members joined together to take part in the district level Mr. and Mrs. Chef activity. And I believe this activity was conducted in the local congregation of Manchester. And we'd like to say hello to all of the brethren in that local congregation and those who have participated in this activity. And we're always so thankful to the church administration for allowing all of us to take part in activities like this, where we continue to showcase the many talents of the brethren, particularly like culinary talents of the married members of the church. And it's so nice to see all the food, but we'd like to try them next time, right, Erica? We would like to be involved as judges. We volunteer. So please do keep a note, districts of Britain North and Britain South. But yes, again, congratulations to all of the winners and all the participants of the activity. And then we'll proceed straight to our next activity, which is another activity in the District of Britain North. And this time, this is a district sushi making activity wherein the Kadiwa members or the youth members of the church from the ages of 18 onwards got involved. And I think this activity, there are multiple sites, or 3 sites to be specific. I think the local congregation of Newport in Wales, and also the local congregation of Birmingham were sites, and also the local congregation of Manchester. And there's so many of our Kadiwa members that got involved, really hands-on with this activity to practice their sushi making skills and talents. And they were led by some familiar faces that me and sister Erica do know already. So we'd like to say hello to those who led this activity in the local congregation of Manchester. It's so nice to see our brothers there leading this activity. And again, it's so nice that everybody is involved in an activity launched by the church administration. Once again, we're not only bonding as brothers and sisters in faith, but also enriching our lives by improving our cooking skills or culinary skills through activities like this. And that brings us to the end of CFO in action. But there is one more thing that we'd like to share to our listeners and our viewers, right, Erica?
Yes. So before that, we would like to give our greetings. Happy 35th anniversary to the local congregation of Stratford. They have an activity today as they celebrate their anniversary.
Congratulations, local congregation of Stratford. What year are they celebrating today?
35 years.
35 years. So congratulations, local congregation at Stratford. Everyone there in our local congregation, we'd like to say hello to everyone. I know they're getting ready already, maybe eating already. Please eat for us. But yes, congratulations to the local congregation of Stratford.
Right. And as promised, we have our shout out segment, which everyone loves. And thank you so much again for joining us in our show. So let's start with the greetings from Brother Harley Alcantara. Hi, brethren. Good afternoon po. Let's go UKD. From Sister Annabelle Celestino. Hi, Mom. Good Sunday afternoon for everyone watching and listening po from #Heathrow. From Brother Jeffrey Dionisio. Warm greetings, brethren. Tuning in from the local congregation of Temecula Valley, District of San Diego County, California. Happy viewing po. SDC Rise Up. Okay. And then we have Brother Dennis Manankil. Oh, okay. I'm assuming it's Jasmine's husband. Hello po, brethren. My name is Brother Dennis from the local of Temecula Valley, San Diego County, California. It's so long. It's like okay. Greetings to all the viewers around the world. And then we have greetings from Stephen Maluyo. Happy watching from local congregation of Bastille, France. Salut. Then we have from Teresita Roldan, #Paris. From Justin Manahan, hello po. Greetings from Fort Worth, Texas, District of South Central States. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you see any other greetings? We have so many greetings.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up a few, and then I know I couldn't read their original comments, but I'd like to say hello to Brother Philip and Sister Jenny Velasquez. Thank you so much for taking your time and spending your Sunday afternoon with us, and also always, as always, Brother Seth Hebrew and also Sister Christina Hebrew. They always take their time to comment on the live chat. And also the many ministers in the District of Britain South. There's so many that I think, let me just read out a couple. I think there's Brother Eric Carigma, and then there is also Brother Jed Tapang, I saw there, and Brother Kate Munoz, I saw there. I think we'll leave it at that. I know there's so many more that commented, but I'm afraid we have to leave it at that before we go over time.
Yes, time really flies. But I also would like to acknowledge the brethren tuning in from Heathrow, the local congregation of Heathrow, as well as I saw Brother Alex Valencia sharing his greetings as well, and Brother Jordan Augustine from Hawaii Pacific, since we mentioned Hawaii earlier. But yes, thank you so much for joining us today, everyone, especially to our panelists, Jasmine and Carolyn earlier. And it was so lovely to host with you, Senli. And as you know, we've done our greetings, of course, but we would also like to acknowledge and greet our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, as well as the deputy executive minister, Brother Angelo Araño V. Manalo, and also greetings to the district supervising ministers in Britain South, Brother Harley Alcantara, in Britain North, Brother Romeo Anthony Peña, and in Ireland, Brother Pepito Acuesta. Greetings also to all the ministers and ministerial workers and their families as well here in the districts of Britain North, Britain South, and Ireland.